And just like that, we have a 3D printed barge board that has been laminated in carbon fibre. And when I set out on this project, I knew it was going to be a challenge, with it being life size and all of the intricate shapes that I would need to be 3D printing and then trying to also laminate in carbon fibre. And then it's not perfect, but it looks so cool. And to be fair, it does need trimming. So we do need to now trim off the excess pieces of carbon fibre. But it actually looks like, in real life, a barge board. And I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it does have a really nice finish. Yes, there's some imperfections. But hey, this is my first time doing this sort of thing. And this is a challenge. And I'm really impressed. So there is another barge board just underneath here. It's still in its bag that I need to unwrap as well. So we've got 2 barge boards laminated. We've got the lower wing also being laminated. And I'm going to unwrap this all at some point today and then show you how I got to this point. So in another video, hopefully coming out soon, I will show you how I got to this stage. Now, here in my hand is the final piece to this front wing, which is the nose tip. I still have a couple of more prints that's going to extend this a little bit more, but in the actual Formula 1 cars in real life, this part does detach from the main vehicle, and I'm also designing that same main feature where you can take the nose off the car. The car that I'm going to 3D print in life size is going to come in pieces, and this is going to be one of the big pieces in the front, which is the front wing. Now, this still needs finishing. I'm going to filler and sand ready for carbon fibre laminating. But I'm going to be really honest with you. These pieces are thin. These pieces have intricate shapes with the wing. I don't know if you can notice with this, but it has a bulge here. It goes in here. Obviously, it's got this shape here. It's got a nice curve on the inside where it goes inwards and then folds out, laps out. That was a difficult shape, but when it comes to this is more of the shapes that I tend to be working with. It just was so much easier gluing this together and making this part. And wow, it looks really cool. It feels quality as well. One thing I have done is with some hot bolts, I've melted some hot bolts into here. And this will actually also then bolt onto my main lower wing from underneath, giving this quite a nice strong attachment. But also, in the future, if I want to create different types of noses, so whether a McLaren nose, this one's actually inspired by the Ferrari nose at the minute, we can try different things. So I do like the look of the Mercedes nose in the early races that they've been using. So that just gives us flexibility. You'll also notice underneath we left a hole for the active aero, so there'll be some sort of servo or motor that will go here, and some cables basically that will just go up, down, just to allow the active aero to move. I think it's a really cool feature we're going to implement in this 3D print. So hopefully you guys can get to this stage alongside with me. It'd be nice for you guys to also create something similar and share what challenges you're facing. But yeah, that's where we are at so far. I'm currently hoping to have a metal chassis that will allow us to bolt the body parts that we have 3D printed onto, and then hopefully sky's the limit in terms of if we can make a rolling car. I won't try and 3D print suspension or the wishbones or the wheel hub. Maybe the actual kick tins that go inside the wheels. So the plastic that does go inside the wheels, we can buy some real wheels that look similar to Formula 1 wheels and hopefully put a really wide tyre or a similar width tyre on them. So I'm really going to go for this. So the next few weeks, there's going to be a lot of planning for me. Less printing, because I've now printed the whole of the front wing, and I'm fairly confident I can 3D print a life-size Formula One. Okay, back to Blender. So let's get rid of these wings and start making the nose. So I'm starting off with just a plane, as always, working only with half the shape, and I'm going to start with the lower part of the front wing nose. So this is the part that actually connects to the lower wing, and I'm just going to create a rough shape of how I imagine it to look like. Now, I've been looking at a lot of images of Formula One cars. I've been watching the last few races, and this is what's really helping me. And all I'm going to do is click on these edges and extrude these edges up to make the bracket that connects, or the part of the wing that connects the nose tip. So just like that, using loop cuts to make more of a shape that resembles my blueprint. And for now, this is all just getting a basic shape. There's no detail or figuring out which of the Formula One cars I'm wanting to focus in on. So that's the lower part of the nose tip, the bit that connects the nose tip and the lower wing together. Next up is to make the nose tip. So I'm just going to extrude from this part that I've made from these vertices. I'll go up here as well, so that'll be the side of the nose, and this bit here is the underneath of the nose. And all I'm doing is making sure I have a rough shape of how the nose connects to the bracket of the lower wing. So I'm just extruding again some more of these points to make the nose right at the nose tip. And what is really helping me here is my memory of what these cars actually look like and what these particular parts look like in real life. All I'm doing is bringing that to the edge here to make sure when I add the mirror it's a nice join. So that's done there like that, just adding a nice shape to the tip. Again, no real detail here, but what you'll start to see now is I'm going to start building upwards and making a cylinder kind of shape for the nose tip. The rough outline shape, I'm just gonna now extrude that edge all the way up for the nose, and just adding loop cuts basically, and making sure that I have even spaces between my loop cuts, because that will help when I add this smooth on modifier. So once I've added the smooth on modifier,
just like that. It just changes the shape. And it's just now a case of messing around with the vertices, the few vertices I have, to make the best possible nose tip, in my impression, the best looking Formula One car in the world. So this is a good example of me making sure my vertices are evenly spaced out. This just avoids the smooth on creating any weird creases. And you should really work with the smooth on modifier on, so you can just see what the actual shape will look like. Top tip, click the A button and then click on Mesh, Nominals, Recalculate Outside. That will ensure when you add the thickness modifier, you will get a nice even thickness. Sometimes when you add the thickness, it creates weird shapes, and that's the reason why it's best to work with the modifiers on, in my opinion. Now all I'm doing is perfecting my nose tip, making sure I've got the shape that I want. Interestingly, I've noticed a few of the different Formula 1 cars have some different types of noses. Like the McLaren actually has more of a rounded underneath, whereas the Mercedes or the other cars like the Ferraris tends to be a little bit more boxy underneath. But I only noticed that because the McLaren crashed out in one of the early races. Now I'm probably going to mess around with this just a little bit more in my own time, but at least you've got an idea how I created this nose tip, and I'm pretty sure you guys can create something that is also as cool as mine. And just like that, I have 3D printed the nose tip. Now here is me getting all the parts together. These are the parts that make the nose tip and the lower wing come together. That's the nose tip I'm also holding my hand, and all I'm going to do to put these pieces together, rather than straight away super glue, I'm going to hold them together with some staples. So with my hot staple gun, I'm going to put them all together and then also add the super glue on top. So I'm using masking tape to help me keep these places in the places that I want to heat them up and glue them together. And I find that masking tape, if you've got a good strong masking tape, by the way, I have failed at doing this with the weak masking tape, but when you buy decent stuff, it actually really does make a nice hold for you whilst you're working on these parts and waiting for them to set in the glue. So I'm going to just let you guys enjoy me putting together the nose tip to the Formula 1 car. And there you go, there's one nose tip coming together. Just adding a little bit more staples in where I want it to be structurally strong. I find the staples really help with the structure, but now I'm going to add the super glue, and that will make it even more stronger, with a little bit of masking tape to keep it in place as where I want it to stay, which seems to work really well, the masking tape, as opposed to using a clamp, which could break the print. So just putting as much super glue as possible. And there you go, there is the nose tip added onto the rest of the wing.
Smash that like button, people. Follow along on this journey. If you're interested in 3D printing, Formula One cars, all cars in general, if you're interested in engineering, it's worth hitting the subscribe button. I really hope to share with you guys some of my journey and hopefully inspire you guys to also make something that you really want in your life. And I really want a Formula One car. Wood.